25. Mental health is real. Seek help, end the stigma. On the news this afternoon. Robinson Ewa led PDP to expel members over anti-party activities. Sporadic shooting amid fatal cold clash in Eleme, River State. SCDC tightens surveillance at entry point amid Ebola outbreak in Uganda. On the foreign scene, U.S. President Trump threatens to cut funding for South Africa over land policy. I'm Ifechuku Moile with the news. Now, the Robinson Ewa-led executive of the PDP in River State says there are plans to form a disciplinary committee to address issues of anti-party activities within the state. Dr. Ewa, who made this known on Nigeria Info FM Morning Crossfire today, said anyone found guilty, including the FCT Minister Nyesom Wike, would be expelled for their involvement in anti-party activities.
The party has what it takes to discipline erring members. We at the state level, now that we have taken over, we are prepared to heal the injuries that they have inflicted on the party. We will set up disciplinary committee that will look into cases of anti-party activities from the 2023 general election. For those that deserve to be expelled from the party, we will expel them. For those that deserve suspension, we will suspend them. We will look at his activities from the 2023 general election up to date. If he requires expelling him, we will expel him. It's not the part of the party. So why would somebody feel that it's above the party? It's not above the party. We will discipline them.
In the meantime, the River State Police Command has refuted report of a shooting incident involving rival political groups at the People's Democratic Party Secretariat in Port Harcourt. There were widespread reports on various online platforms suggesting that supporters of opposing PDP factions engaged in a gun duel at the party secretariat. Spokesperson of the command, SP Grace Iringekoko, while acknowledging internal tensions within the party, described claims of an armed clash as false, misleading, and a deliberate attempt to incite panic. Now, the River State Police Command says it has started enforcement of the third-party vehicle insurance policy. In a statement, the command's public relations officer, Grace Iringekoko, said it started 1st of February in line with the directives of the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Wetoku. The statement warned against any misconduct that could tarnish the police image, emphasizing severe sanctions for non-compliance. The River State Police Command, while encouraging vehicle owners to obtain the third-party insurance cover promptly, also appealed for the maximum cooperation of members of the public. It said the enforcement team consists of divisional traffic officers, members of the National Union of Road Transport Workers, NURTW, and staff of the River State Board of Internal Revenue. In another development, at least 3 people were killed and 3 suspects were arrested following a cold clash in One, in Eleme local government area of River State. Reports say the first attack on Friday left 2 people dead, leading to a reprisal on Saturday. Police spokesperson Grace Iringekoko said a notorious cultist known as Small Lighter was among the 3 people killed in the clash. Residents of the area fled due to sporadic shootings during the clash. Moving on, the 6th Division of the Nigerian Army says its operatives have arrested 16 suspected oil thieves, destroyed 12 illegal refining sites, demobilized 6 boats, intercepted 9 vandalized pipes, and confiscated over 70,000 liters of stolen product in the Niger Delta region. The public relations officer of the 6th Division, Danjuma Jonah, in a statement said operations were conducted jointly with other security agencies in Bayelsa, Delta, and Akwa Ibom states between January 27 and February 2, 2025. According to the statement, the General Officer commanding 6th Division, Nigeria Army, Major General Emmanuel Emeka, while commending the troops for the operational successes recorded, charged them to sustain the operational tempo in ensuring a conducive environment for increased exploration activities. He further urged them to remain professional and disciplined in discharging their duties. And now a community in Ebonyi State was attacked on Sunday morning, leaving several residents dead. Several buildings were reportedly burnt down during the attack. The incident is believed to be a reprisal following the reported killing of cattle belonging to herdsmen in the area. The Ebonyi State Police Command spokesperson Joshua Okando said the command has deployed operatives to the area. Now, while confirming the attack, Okando said the number of casualties is still being investigated. Still to come, NCDC tightens surveillance at entry point amid Ebola outbreak in Uganda. Stay with us. You're welcome back, and now the rest of the news. The senator representing Ondo South, Jimo Ibrahim, says President Bola Tinubu is not losing sleep over the recent criticism of his administration by former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, former Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai, and the immediate past Minister of Transportation Chibike Amechi. In an interview, Senator Ibrahim said the current administration deals with empirical evidence and does not react by narratives. He said the ruling party is not afraid of those who threaten to leave the APC, stressing that for every member who defects, 3 others have crossed over from the opposition camps. Recall that Mr. Amechi recently charged Nigerians to be prepared to defend their mandate in the forthcoming 2027 election, warning that politicians, including the current president, will not cede power easily. Mr. El-Rufai claimed he no longer reckoned with his party, the ruling APC, saying it has become a zero-man show. On the other hand, Mr. Atiku accused the presidency of inducing opposition parties with 50 million naira bribe to weaken their structure ahead of the 2027 election, an allegation that majority political platforms had denied. Now, also, Special Advisor to the President of Media and Public Communication, Sunday Dare, described the critics as wannabes. Mr. Dare, in an interview, said the clouds are beginning to clear and the combat begins. But reacting to this, media advisor to former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, Paul Ibe, in a statement said Mr. Dare's statement shows that Tinubu administration plans to take the next election in the country as a combat and a fight. He urged the Tinubu government to unite and heal the nation and desist from making certain remarks about other countries or the patriotism of the Nigerian people. To help matters now, the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC, has tightened surveillance measures at entry points in the country owing to a fresh outbreak of Ebola disease in Uganda. Last week, the Uganda Ministry of Health confirmed the outbreak of the disease with 1 death and has now followed up with 44 contacts. The NCDC, in an advisory, said while there is no outbreak of the disease in Nigeria, the agency is working to prevent such. It also said there are no Ebola vaccines in Nigeria at the moment. It, however, said early recognition, isolation of patients and initiation of supportive treatment, implementing infection and control measures in health facilities and homes, tracing and monitoring of contact, and safe burial practices significantly reduce morbidity and the probability of death. And now in business, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has arraigned a former executive secretary of the National Health Insurance Scheme, NHIS, Usman Yusuf, on a 5-count amended charge bordering on alleged fraud. Mr. Yusuf was arraigned before Justice Chinyere Nwechonwu of the Federal Capital Territory High Court, Kuje, Abuja. The defendant pleaded not guilty when the charges were read to him. The former NHIS executive secretary is being accused of using his office to confer undue advantages to himself between 2016 and 2017. He also allegedly awarded contracts without following due procurement process. In entertainment, Afrobeat singer Tems has scored her second Golden Gramophone at the Grammys with a win in the Best African Music Performance category. And now to sports. Newcastle United defender Lloyd Kelly is set to join Juventus on loan before signing for the Italian side permanently in the summer. The loan covers the remainder of the 2024-2025 season, with Juve then having to make the move permanent in a £20 million deal.
And now, we'll bring you news from around the world.
U.S. President Donald Trump says he will cut all future funding to South Africa over allegations that it was confiscating land and treating certain classes of people very badly. Now, last month, President Cyril Ramaphosa signed into law a bill that allows land seizures without compensation in certain circumstances. Most farmlands are still owned by white people 30 years after the end of the racist system of apartheid, and there have been continuous calls for the government to address land reform and deal with the past injustices of racial segregation. President Ramaphosa responded in a statement on X today that the South African government has not confiscated any land.
This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
Now that's a wrap on the news this afternoon. Before we go, let's have a look at the major stories. The Robinson Award-led PDP says it will expel members over anti-party activities. There were sporadic shootings as a cult clash left at least 3 people dead in Eleme, River State. The NCDC has tightened surveillance at entry points amid Ebola outbreak in Uganda. On the foreign scene, U.S. President Trump has threatened to cut funding for South Africa over land policy. The news was edited by Martha Okere. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808-721-7215. I'm Ifechukwu Moyeli. Many thanks for listening.